Digimon Con last year for me wasn't honestly all that bad. While I wasn't particularly interested in the Digimon card game tournament that was going on, I did really enjoy the Vital Bracelet portion of the Digimon Con. I really liked the raid, except for the server lag that made the raid activities a little bit less enjoyable, but overall, I enjoyed that part. We did also get Vital Bracelet news in terms of the new app that was coming out and the new Frontier DIMs which were announced there. And of course, we also got the Wave 4 DM20 release in US announced at Digimon Con. However, most fans seemed fairly disappointed, so I'm wondering if this year Bandai and Toei will try to either meet more fan expectations or, and what I've seen them more or less do on Twitter, is try to sort of set the expectations for what they are actually planning on showing, and then making it seem a little bit more clear to be a showcase rather than a news thing, which is what people seem to sort of to get from the predictions last year. We had a lot of high expectations. This year, I think Bandai and Toei seemingly try to make it look a bit more like a showcase rather than an announcement or news event. So we do actually have a timetable from the website, as well as we have a general overview that appeared in this month's Psych Your Jump. So we have, interestingly, they did have a game section. However, the schedule and this overview from Psych Your Jump are just saying Digimon Next Order information rather than Digimon Games information. This seems to imply that we won't get any information or a release window about the upcoming Digimon story game, which was mentioned a bit at last year's event. So we can kind of set our expectations fairly low that the game segment will more or less just be showing off Next Order, which is releasing this month. Some people I've seen on Twitter aren't particularly interested about this because Next Order, yes, is just a port. It's a game that we've already had, essentially, so there's not too much that can be shown outside of new additions like the Easy Mode or the Run Mode that Next Order for the Switch and PC port have instead of what the older version had. But overall, they have a fairly small amount of time to cover games, and it seems that they're just focusing on Next Order. So I would be surprised if we get any information about the upcoming story games. However, the schedule and the overview both mention the 25th anniversary project and information about that. Now, this could, I'm trying to dampen my expectations. I'm trying to also dampen your expectations as well for what we can hope to see in this generic sort of 25th anniversary project thing. This could be anything from formally launching the 25th anniversary project. With the 20th anniversary, we got that pretty cool live action sort of ad for the franchise. It could just be like launching the 25th anniversary, because we all know that anniversaries don't just go for a year, they go for 5 years. We're still, I feel like, in the 15th anniversary or 20th anniversary moments of the franchise. They went on forever. But we're now on the 25th, so I guess we could just be launching that. It could be, what I would expect is it could just be showing off the upcoming Digimon colors, which are being released at the end of this month. So that would make sense that we get a look at the Digimon colors because they're coming out. We may even get information about future Digimon colors, though I'm not too hopeful about that. It could just be a showcase of what we've already got, which is more or less what I'm expecting from Digimon Con. More or less just news about things that we already know about the existence of. For example, in the Vital Bracelet BE segment, which has like a fairly decent chance of being my favourite again, we could, and this is something that is a fairly safe-ish prediction, is that we could have the results for the upcoming Dragon and Beast BE memories, because we had those votes to determine which Mons would be on it, or which final Mons would be on it, rather. but no results as of recording this have been announced. So we could have final information about the roster with pre-order information. That's a fairly safe-ish bet at the very least. We could also have, like what we had for last year, we could have a little tease about what the next Vital Bracelet BE memories are going to be. They could be, insect and plant or bird or whatever. It could be more fields like with Dragon and Beast. It could just be continuing on from that sort of similar style of BE memory. We could also have a vote for the rosters like we did for Dragon and Beast. That also seems like a fairly safe-ish idea because we haven't had the full rosters for the Dragon and Beast ones announced yet, so that'd be good to see. I'm not really expecting much in terms of the app being shown off, even though the Psycho Jump overview does say app, and the basis for that being that the app is slow at the best of times. It takes a long time just to transfer Digimon back and forth using the app. You get a lot of loading screens. I can't imagine how bad that would be to show off on a live stream because other people would be using the app at the same time. And also, as I said, it's slow anyway, so I wouldn't be particularly optimistic for them using the app on an actual live stream. Last year was painful as it is. We don't want to throw the new app into it unless they really, really improve the new app between now and then. However, I try to not use the app. I try to use the app as least as possible because of how slow it is. I can't imagine them wanting to live stream that. Anyway, at the end of Digimon Con, towards the end rather, we do have Digimon Toy Showcase, similar to how we had last year. We had the model kit shown off, and we also had the new DM20 Wave 4s shown off as well. While these were just the DM20s, these weren't Ver revivals like I was so hoping for, it was still technically a new product. Here is where I could imagine them slotting in an announcement for the English versions of the Digital Monster X3. We, of course, have had the first and the second Digital Monster X. We haven't actually had the third one announced or even leaked yet. Whether or not the DMX3E is actually ever coming out, I'm kind of pessimistic because of the fact that they had to re-release the DMX2E in America because of the roster mix-up. I'm wondering if that took time and resources that would have been allocated for the DMX3E. But this is like my last hope. If it doesn't get announced at Digimon Con or teased or something along those lines, I'm getting more and more pessimistic and doubtful that we'll see a DMX3E. So hopefully this is where we slot in the DMX3E announcement, and at the very least that's what I'm hopeful for. So I'm not really expecting too much in terms of announcements. However, a DMX3E announcement or tease or showcase would be nice. And of course, the Vital Bracelet upcoming BE Memories feels like a safe-ish bet. I'm also noticing that there's no anime portion, like just generic or general anime portion. We do have the cast of Ghost Game and the cast of Frontier to answer questions, but we don't have anything from, say, 02. So I can't imagine them doing any big special announcement for the upcoming 02 movie. That is surprising because I feel like it's been a while since we've had any new information other than trailers. We don't have a release date. I don't think we even have a release year for the 02 movie yet. So fairly pessimistic that we will. Before we got the overview from the website or the overview from Psycho Jump, I thought that it would be a safe bet that we would at least get a little bit of a tease for Digimon Adventure 02, the upcoming movie, the beginning. However, at this point, since it's not on the overview or the schedule, I'm probably even going to say they might not even mention it. In a similar vein, we haven't heard anything about the Digimon Adventure : English dub for a while. I believe it was shown off at a convention last year in America, but outside of that, we haven't had any news about it. So, because we don't have an anime segment in this Digimon Con, I'm wondering if they'll not mention that either. If that'll be left for a more US-focused event. Same with the 02 movie. I'm wondering if that'll be even not... Like, we don't have any information until the next DigiFairs, which is in August. So, kind of thinking that we won't get much anime news. Ghost Game, of course, wrapping up soon and probably not being replaced with a new anime. Kind of a shame. So, I'm not expecting too much in terms of anime announcements. However, sort of related to 02, we haven't heard much about the Digimon D3 Super CSAs coming out. We got a preview a few months ago, but ever since then we haven't had a release date, or I don't think we've even had pricing or functionality being announced yet. I feel like in the toy segment this could slot in fairly well. Alternatively, the 25th project segments, there are 2 of them. I'm wondering they could even slot in anime news into the 25th special project thing. Same with news about the Digimon story. But I'm trying to set my expectations low for the 25th project slots, because that could be really anything. That could just be showing off what we already have. It could be showing off the 25th anniversary BE memory. It could be showing off the Digimon Color, which is coming out, which is kind of what I expect it to be. It could just be a general celebration of the franchise in terms of what we've had through 25 years. So it could just be a celebration without anything new. However, if we do get any new information about new anime, new movie, the D3 Super CSA, I can imagine it being in that slot if it's not in the toy segment slot. Again, I'm trying to set my expectations fairly low. The toy segment feels like it could, honestly, if we're not going to get anything new in the toy segment, it could just be gameplay for the Super CSA D-Scanner and the Digimon Color, which are coming out. Well, one's coming out this month, the other's coming out next month or in 2 months' time. So, again, I'm trying to sort of set expectations low because it feels clear that Digimon Con, and it was sort of clear-ish, but still kind of vague enough that people were kind of disappointed by it. Digimon Con is just a showcase and a celebration rather than a news direct, like a Nintendo Direct or something. It doesn't really have that much news. Small teasers of upcoming things maybe, like what we had with the Frontier Dims, but overall, nothing too much. Again, no anime segment makes me kind of honestly surprised we're not getting an anime segment, because I feel like the 02 movie looked pretty good from the trailers. Like, it looked something that was nearing completion at the very least. So it is surprising we don't even have a release date to say 2023. So that is interesting, I guess. But in any case, those are my predictions and hopes and wishes for Digimon Con 2023. Hopefully, even with setting my expectations low, hopefully it blows me away with all the news and all the nice things that go on. I'm wondering if the English announcers will learn how to say Digimon as not Digimon and not as Pokemon. That'd be kind of actually sad, because that was something memorable that happened last year for Digimon Con. But in any case, those are my thoughts and predictions for Digimon Con now that we have the schedule and the overview. Let me know your thoughts, predictions, etc., in the comment section below. Like this video to fuel the hope cannon that it will actually be an amazing event. I'm probably going to be watching it live on and off throughout the day. Depends on what segment's on. So if I see you in chat, that'll be pretty cool. So subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be doing a Digimon Con wrap-up like I did last year, in addition to be covering the Digimon Ghost Game episode that comes out that day. And if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your neighbour, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!